Hello, everyone. Hello, Just about a week and if you did it, you guys, what happened, what didn't happen, what's happening next 2 months. Jimmy, I love you, guys. Some few friends. Hope you can do best today. The sucks. It's a nice cold morning today. We're here with everyone. We can be very through some relationships with some new people. Have a good time. But maybe just connect more with you. Yeah, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of our time. Let's pray my realization from the about you. Hey, real quick, just gotta talk about my week. So, maybe a little, but first talk about school. I feel like recently school has like leveled up so much. Like, I don't think you can recognize, but I think school had a really good friendship group. Like, we have fun all the time. I still talk to them now. In the secondary school, I remember when I joined. My first few days in, I was saying, actually, like, this school is just so weird. It's weird and I don't like anyone. I made friends just because we got fit, but then only now I actually like have a good friend group. Like just relaxing. I need to, fake it. I need to be anyone else. Yeah, that's been like really recent. I'm trying to have a fun. So yeah, it's been great. So yeah, and I'm gonna have a quick intro song. So please rise. Alright guys, we have no guitarist, we have no one, so please do everything. Sing some songs. Go. There you go. 3. That's good.
Hey, that's all right. Now, one more song. The more chill, the first one, tell me. I'll say it all. One. Brings us all together by and soon all comes on to restore. That's how it is with our experience. It's spread its love to everyone. We want to pass it on. Well, wonders like this spring, when all the trees are green, birds begin to sing. The flowers start blooming. That's how it is with God's love. What you experience here, wants to sing, is fresh like spring. You want to sing. I wish for you, my friend, this happiness that I found. On here you can be found. It matters not where you are. How shall we come from mountain top? Hey, whoa, I run from mountain. The Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass it on. Love it. Love it from the mountain top. Hey, bro. I want the mountain. The Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass it on. Next. Husband, very nice man. Very peaceful, baby. Yeah, peaceful from my older sister.
Miho Fortune.
All right, so we can see the title of my sermon is Inner Value and Public Service. I wanted to talk about those two topics kind of in one. They kind of move a little bit. So inner value, how our value comes from the love of God as our identity as God's children, and how we can increase that value or fulfill our potential by sharing God's love with others, by living for the sake of others, having that heart of service, and return joy to God that way. So it may not seem like it from the outside, but I actually have some deep insecurities about myself sometimes. I'm sure many of you can relate. Insecurities around social skills, appearance, or even around your own value. And going away from the social get-together, I've been playing conversations in my head. Sometimes when I say too much, or say something differently, it's easily done. You look in the mirror and you get a bit anxious about your hair or your outfit, or you get a bit caught up in that. I remember a particular time when I was younger, I was struggling with my confidence and really battling self-hatred or shame. And I had gone for a long walk with Auntie Cecilia, and she listened to me share all my hidden embarrassments and regrets. And I poured my heart out in tears, admitting that I didn't feel worthy of the blessings I had received. She stopped me and took me by the shoulders and said that you have value, something along the lines of you have value, God gives value that comes from being a child of God. Nothing you say or do will change that, because your value comes from God's love, and nothing changes that. It's always saying that. And I really struggled with that at that time, because obviously I was struggling, but everything inside me was saying that there was no way God could love my flawed self wholeheartedly, or at least must be disappointed in me. And at the time, I strongly linked my value with how good I felt I had been, how much I was doing or volunteering, and maybe we put pressure on ourselves to serve or to, volunteer, or you compare yourself to other people. And I was so blinded by guilt that it had even blocked God's love. I think this is one way that Satan tries to take us down. By using that guilt to persecute us into self-hate. So it took a long time, and I'm certainly not there yet, but several years before I started feeling more truth in what she's saying, no matter what we are. Logically, I could understand where she's coming from, but that God is unchanging and immutable, therefore his love and therefore my value is also unchanging. Artistically though, emotionally, it's I had to overcome several obstacles before I could truly accept that, understand and believe that I was God's valued daughter. In a way, if you try to look at it from God's perspective as a parent, it must be really heartbreaking to see his children not understanding or believing in their own value. So in a way, you can believe in yourself as a way of believing in God. Makes sense. So God is happy when we, of course, happy when we do good, and sad when we stray from the right path. But that doesn't change the fact that Heavenly Parent loves us very much. It is important to remember that and have faith in ourselves. Having faith in God's love means we can have faith in ourselves and our own value as God's children. This was a very important realization for me, and I'm slowly working on my confidence to really believe in that and I hope. Especially in this time when you're younger and you're in school and you're still figuring out who you are, what kind of person you want to be. Maybe you're still building up that confidence. So it's part of why I wanted to talk about how having faith in God is also having faith in ourselves. Our identity as God's children. You know, you can always step back and remember God loves me, and then have that as your sort of bulwark to push you forward. Another way to think about it is that our value comes from our identity as God's children. No matter what you say or do, you're still son or daughter of God, heavenly parents, so your identity remains there. There are many other aspects to our identity, such as being first or second generation, or someone who has heard divine principle, which may mean that God has great hopes for us, have a lot of opportunities and knowledge to push us forward. But it is our identity as God's children from which our value comes, and that value is the same for everyone. Quote from True Father is, "You are the children of God. This is the greatest title you can hold. No matter how much wealth, power, or status you acquire, none of it compares to the value of being God's child. As his child, you are born with the potential to shape the world and fulfill the original purpose for which God created humanity." And from True Mother, the value of a person is determined by their ability to receive God's love and to return that love to others, fulfilling their role as God's true children. So that second quote is a little bit, maybe you would wonder, how much am I returning God's love to others? But God is just happy with whatever we can do, and is happy with our growth, and loves us no matter what. And that value doesn't change, that love doesn't change, and we're just fulfilling our potential by giving love to others. So now that I myself am a parent, I can understand a little bit better how that parental love is unchanging, no matter how much Ellie screams or cries. And now it's becoming terrible twos time, so she's getting tantrums for taking away certain things that she shouldn't have. But still, I love her, and still she loves me. Even though I'm the source of the crying, because I took away something she wanted, I'm also the comfort. She's not like mad at me. She wants to be held by me, even though I'm the one who took her thing. And that's also evidence of how much she loves me. That kind of wholehearted love is the kind of love that God gives to us too. But yeah, even if she's being naughty or cheeky, like she knows I'm telling her to say no and she does it anyway, I still love her just as much. You might think that a baby crying or misbehaving is nothing like mistakes like that I make as an adult, because I'm conscious and have free will and responsibility. But you even hear in the news about mothers who still love their children despite committing great crimes. Of course, they don't condone those terrible deeds, but they can't help still loving their children. Can't help going, visiting them in prison, or if God forbid, even if Ellie became somehow went down the wrong path, I still want to love and support her. I still want the best for her, always. And that's the way that God loves us. Yeah, and that's kind of the way that Ellie loves me, because no matter what I'm doing, she always wants me. I guess it's a special connection between a mom and the kids. She comes to me with hugs and kisses, spontaneously without even me asking, and wants cuddles and all the time. You guys are maybe a bit older, too old to give cuddles to your parents, but it means a lot. Alexander gets a little bit sad when he has to ask for his cuddles. But yeah, it means a lot to your parents to show that affection. Another thing to think about, parental love, is that we've received a lot of special grace that we've received in the past several times. Through that holy wine, we were able to receive forgiveness and wipe our slate clean. The first time that happened, we received this special grace by and you can think that this shows how much God and parents love us. They want us to have a clean slate to start with. That is in the third class. Given again. But it's an opportunity to shed the past and try to begin anew. Try to bring Heavenly Parents the most joy. And I think that's what true parents and Heavenly Parents are hoping from us. From true Father. Human beings were created to be the children of God, and as His children, we must fulfill our responsibility to live according to His will. The value of human beings lies in their relationship with God. When human beings align themselves with God's love and will, they embody their true birth as His children. So then moving on to the second topic of my sermon, part of service. I named it that because I wanted to bring up in you what do you think of when you hear heart of service? What is a heart of service? It can be having the mind to think of others. Sometimes we can get caught up in ourselves, just doing our own thing, finishing our own studies, finishing on paper, getting yourself ready. But then you don't have, it's like you have blinders and you don't see people around you. It's kind of hard to just be aware of other people. The small things like helping someone get through the door, or bigger things like starting a service project or volunteering in the program. There's value in all aspects of service, and it also gives us vitality on things. You must live in a safe environment. You sacrifice for others. And so when we are serving other people, helping someone out, you feel kind of good. When you see their gratitude, it lifts you up. You get a bit of energy from that. And that's like in your spirit, you feel that energy. And when you aren't helping others, then you feel a little bit isolated or a bit dead inside. You do, I definitely, even I feel it when I feel like, oh, I've done something really good for somebody else. And you just feel like really energized or happy, even if that person isn't so grateful, maybe you can reassure yourself that at least you did something to help that person. And another quote is, the foundation for true happiness is living for the sake of others. When we focus on the welfare of others, we'll receive the love and joy that comes from giving. This is a reminder to myself as well, because I certainly, especially when life is really busy as a parent, or when you're working, you get caught up in your own life. So I definitely feel like I should want to serve people more. And I definitely, yeah. But there's little things that we can do, like even at church, helping with the chairs, setting up chairs, bringing a plate to an elder member, or helping washing up. Quite often I see the same Auntie Chizuko, aunties doing washing up. If a lot of people volunteer to help with washing up, then Auntie Chizuko maybe wouldn't feel the pressure to always be, I'm sure they heard, maybe she doesn't feel pressure, it's offered onto the certain congregation, but it would just create a beautiful culture at church. Wouldn't it? If everybody was, things just ran smoothly, chairs moved easily, and tables set up quickly. Obviously, it won't always run smoothly. If everybody has that kind of part of helping out, then it makes a nice atmosphere for everybody in it. Somewhere that you could feel like you're happy to invite someone over. Another way to look at what kind of impact, will it be? Certainly, we don't want to be isolated just recognition. How do you want to leave that English person that you need to feel? You want them to be kind of annoyed or neutral. Kind of what you want to leave a positive impact, right? Even if you want them to remember you fondly. That's not the motivation to do it, but that's a way to think about it. It's kind of leaving the positive, leaving the positive mind. And that's part of what I was thinking about when I was trying to decide what career I wanted to have. I thought of what is a job where I can help people. That's how I reached the conclusion of it. So I felt like it would give having a lot of opportunities to help others, and I like the idea of that. There's loads of jobs that help people. There's just one that I can see myself in. And every day, and it's not easy, and some parts of it I don't like. But I'm grateful that my job is something that at least I can say maybe I did something that helped somebody today. So just make small difference. Another example, Alexander has gone outside of his comfort zone and done something really big that not a lot of people do. He's trying to start a farm business in Uganda. Somebody he met there while on STF. The idea of it is to try and create something that can last beyond one lifetime, you know. This donation, sometimes it's a one-off, it doesn't create. If you wanted to create something that can be a lasting impact on the area. Really admire his passion for the project and the motivation to invest into others rather than your indulgences. And as a family, of course, we're trying to. It's good to have a balance. You can't just give everything to others. You have to like take care of yourself and have holidays, but you can have nice. You can sacrifice some nicer things or some extra holidays and invest into something more meaningful for somebody else. It's jobs for people in business. It's a grain mill for the people in the area. Another access to food in that area. Hopefully, it has a chance to grow and give more opportunities and jobs and living for people in that area of Uganda. But yeah, the motivation is to for that. So we can set up ways within our life to be continually looking out for others. So whether that be through the career, or through business, or through volunteering. Father says, true love is the love that seeks to benefit others rather than oneself. The way of true love is to live for the sake of others. So when we're thinking about our future, we can think about how we want to help others. It doesn't have to be a new project. You can help support someone else's project program event or idea. Every week there are dozens of volunteers at our local park run. Alexander runs the park run. There's loads of these like pensioners standing, and you see they know each other. They stand, know each other's names. They know the runners even some of the names. They help people be healthy. There's an abundance of projects you can get involved in. Just look. So, in so in conclusion, for the sisters, let's go forward this week, having faith in our inner value from God and seek to build a heart of service in our lives. We can remember that God's love is what is unchanging and immutable. And that is something that you can build your confidence on, your value on, and share that love with others by serving other people and cheering when you can, and even just saying a nice word. Ollie this morning said more or compliment multiple people, saying nice things to other people, complimenting your dress, so that it doesn't have to be a big effort, just be a little nice comment. That's a little chance. So I'll leave you with two of my favorite quotes from this. You're the children of God. This is the greatest title you can hold, no matter how much wealth, power, or status you acquire. None of it compares to the value of being God's child. As His child, you are born with the potential to shape the world and fulfill the original purpose for which God created humanity. And the foundation for true happiness is living for the sake of others. When we focus on the welfare of others, we will receive love and joy that comes from giving.
I think it's really important to balance the two pieces of confidence and humility, especially as the best child. And you can take it in two ways. The way I took personally was, yeah, I'm a best child, like these NPCs. I'm one of the chosen ones. I used to do anything. You also be harmed, like, rejected. Go to school, everyone else is normal. And then, yeah, so you kind of have to be confident in your own ways, because you couldn't just be, oh yeah, I'm really set up and do whatever I want. God's child to always like student good. Then I think we should like take that go out, not just like, oh, just go and match some kids, chill out home. Like, take Aaron, for example, one of the big man, now he's a match them left in Utah. That means do more than that, right? For the progress. Get married and stuff. Obviously, that's good. Get matched and stuff, and then from there, go on, do more stuff to leave an impact, benefit the world. Yeah. section. Next, we're gonna have the offering song, so if you like, yeah.
I hope it's all right. I don't know.
Yeah, we've got our donations over the last episode. For anyone that doesn't know how this song goes, it's when I behold the Lord, my own self lies away. So lies the world singing giving birth to you. Sin and yourself and pride. And behold you. Heaven and earth reborn. Now I behold Jerusalem, city of lovely girls. Then we descending from heaven to be joy never ending is long as the Lord is near. Joy never flows in sweet grace. River of precious life. Kingdom of God eternal. Divine desire, heavenly rays so softly come, shining the star of grace, bringing forth in kindness fruit from the tree of life. Torment of doubt is over, gone is the shadow of death. During every party, thankfulness rules my soul. Till God can make me glorified, giving creation to me. Letting me live in this life, living with open heart. Boundless love and kindness, boundless is love for me. Boundless is love. Boundless is love for me.
One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two. And then nice.
What? Yeah.
I like Elvis. I've been a bit. What did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only way you can communicate now. Training.
That's I have to get two trainings. Like one. I have to get